The rain had stopped just before dawn, leaving the streets of Willow Creek glistening under the soft orange glow of street lamps. Maggie pulled into the parking lot of Lou's Diner, the same one she used to sneak into after football games, back when life felt like it was just beginning. She hadn't been back in town in years. Not since her mother passed. Not since Rachel's wedding. Not since she watched Jake say, "I do," to someone else while she smiled through clenched teeth in the third pew. The bell above the diner door jingled as she stepped inside. It smelled like bacon grease and old coffee, comforting, in a way that made her chest ache. She slid into the corner booth, the one she used to claim with Jake during late-night study sessions. Her fingers trembled as she pulled out the letter from her coat pocket. The paper was worn, the ink faded, but the words were still sharp. She'd written it the night before prom. A confession, of love, of longing, of all the things she never said. She'd planned to slip it into Jake's locker. But then Rachel showed up in that red dress, and Jake's eyes never left her the entire night. Maggie folded the letter again, pressing it flat against the table. She wasn't sure why she'd brought it. Maybe to let it go. Maybe to finally say goodbye to the version of herself that had waited too long. The door jingled again. Jake. He looked older, but not in a bad way. His hair was flecked with gray, and there were lines around his eyes, but his walk was still easy, still familiar. He paused when he saw her. "Maggie?" he said, voice tinged with disbelief. She smiled, unsure if it looked genuine. "Hey, Jake." He slid into the booth across from her, like no time had passed. "I didn't know you were back. Just for a few days," she said. "I came for Rachel's memorial." Jake nodded, his gaze drifting to the window. "She would have liked that. She always said you had the kindest heart." Maggie swallowed hard. She was radiant, even when things got bad. "She was," Jake said quietly. "She never stopped smiling, even when she was in pain." They sat in silence, the kind that stretches between people who share a history too complicated for small talk. "I wrote you something," Maggie said, her voice barely above a whisper. She pushed the letter toward him. "A long time ago. I never gave it to you." Jake looked down at the paper, then back at her. "What is it?" "A confession," she said. "From high school. I was in love with you." Jake didn't move. He stared at the letter like it might burn him. "I thought you knew," he said finally. "I thought you loved Rachel," Maggie replied. "I did," he said. "But not first." Maggie blinked. "What do you mean?" Jake leaned back, exhaling slowly. "You were always there. Always steady. I thought maybe you'd say something. But then Rachel. She was like a storm, beautiful and impossible to ignore. And I didn't want to hurt anyone." "You didn't," Maggie said. "I hurt myself by staying silent." Jake picked up the letter, unfolded it carefully. His eyes scanned the words, and Maggie watched his expression shift. Surprise, sadness, something else she couldn't name. "I wish I'd seen this back then," he said. "I wish I'd given it to you," she replied. They sat in silence again, but this time it felt different. Softer. Jake looked at her. Really looked. "You know, after Rachel passed, I kept thinking about all the things we never said. All the things we thought we had time for." Maggie nodded. "Time is cruel like that." Jake smiled faintly. "You want to grab breakfast? Like old times?" Maggie hesitated, then nodded. "I'd like that." They ordered pancakes and eggs, and talked about everything and nothing. About Jake's daughter who was off at college. About Maggie's job in Chicago, her tiny apartment, her cat named Hemingway. About the town, how it hadn't changed, how they had. As the sun climbed higher, casting golden light through the diner windows, Maggie felt something shift inside her. Not closure exactly, but peace. Jake reached across the table, his fingers brushing hers. "I don't know what this means," he said, "but I'm glad you came back." Maggie smiled. "Me too." Outside, the world moved on. But inside that little diner, two people found something they'd lost long ago. Not just love, but the courage to speak the truth, even if it came too late.